my name is Dorothy. I'm an illustrator in Portland, Oregon. And today I thought I would take you through some of my travel journal. It's fun to look at other people's travels, see what they were doing, what kind of media they had. Let's just get into it and go. Okay, so I want to introduce each sketchbook. This is a watercolor sketchbook from Moleskine. It is from 2012, and I'm going to show you a couple of the pages. I traveled to France and Paris, and this is a page of just people that I saw at the Tuileries, the garden. And then I remember that I was at a cafe and I started sketching some of this with a friend while we sat at a cafe. This is a page of macaron that we got in Paris at Pierre Hermé. Probably not pronouncing it right, but I wanted to show you because it's kind of a fun layout of all of the different macaron. One of the cafes that we stayed at, that we ate at actually for brunch a bunch of times. We were kind of obsessed. That's her. I wanted to show you, this is like a spread of cheeses that we had. It is very light. I feel like my watercolor skills have definitely improved since 2012. I went to a club and these are some of the dance moves that I did. And then this is a salad that I had, which was pretty tasty. These are some fruits, the different French words for them. I think at this time I was trying to study French, but I have since forgotten a lot of things. Les citrons, l'orange, la pastique, le pont. Okay, well, yeah, clearly I have a lot to learn still. And then I think I did the same page, but just vegetables. Let's see what else I got in here. If you are going to France, I would recommend getting a Café Gourmand, which is basically like a big, like a sampler of different tasty things, like dessert things. So this Café Gourmand had, you get an espresso, a little speculoos cookie, some pudding, some macaron. It looks like I got an apple tart and a cinnamon tart as well. So very fun, very cool to look back at this. We went to the Rodin Museum and I did some sketches. This one is one of them. And then I think this might have been at the Louvre. Yeah, it says the Louvre. I remember, the Louvre is very popular and there's a lot of different people there, a lot of people. So I remember I was drawing this, but a lot of people were watching and I got really intimidated. Yeah, same thing on these pages, just a bunch of like Louvre things. That's kind of that journal with the travel stuff that I did. So let's look at another one. This is a Moleskine from 2019. It's not an entire travel journal. It's just a little bit of it. So in 2019, I was lucky enough to travel to Mexico City. So this is a little bit of that. I didn't really finish all of it, which is okay, but this is kind of like a spread that I did, I think, when I got back, of like all the different things I had experienced. I really loved like all the passion flowers that I saw and the greenery. I forget, the Zocalo is the main area. This I think is like a museum that we saw. Churros, Museo Frida, a really tasty dessert that I had, and I think, pastries and things that we saw. It was so much fun. Honestly, I want to go back. And then these were some of the days that I ended up doing. The first day we got there, we had a really great mole. And then I think we also got a really tasty dinner somewhere. So that's that. And then I honestly didn't do anything else except I kind of like this one little spread that I never colored in, but it has like a little churro and I kind of discovered dipping chocolate. So that's what I wanted to show for that. And then that same year I got to travel to England with my mom, and my mom is also an artist. So luckily we made time to do art and sit around in the towns that we went to do art. So this is one of the first places that we went to, which is Chip and Camden. And I remember that we drew this on the street, and I was just working with pen. And then this also we did on the street as well, but I think it was a different day, just in pen as well. And then same thing, this I think was further along in our trip, but I just remember having a lot of fun drawing this in one of the cute little cottage areas. And then this, not my favorite spread, but it's from Greenway, where Agatha Christie had a home. So it was fun to draw that. And then I remember that I think I drew both of these on a train because I had some photos. So I was able to draw these on the train with some photos. This one I might have actually even done on the plane, and it was just a bunch of botanicals that I really liked. And then ignore this page, but these were like some cute cottages that I liked, and it's in acrylic gouache. Okay, so last bit of this, I forgot to film this. This is from Japan, when I went to Japan in 2018. So these are some spreads that I did. They're very off-center, but they basically kind of show what I did each day. It's interesting to see like the foods that I ate and the things that I saw. This is from when we went to Tokyo Disney Sea, which was really cool. And I remember going to a coffee place and getting some pineapple cake, riding the Shinkansen, and then also getting really tasty treats and going to a Shiba Inu cafe, seeing a lot of different temples in Kyoto, and then flying home. This is my last one. I'll probably do a bigger tour of this, but I'll just show you some of the travel-y stuff that I have in here. So this is a Strathmore mixed media. I currently live in Portland, but before I moved to Portland, I was traveling up here quite a bit for visiting family. So this is one of the spreads that I did just in colored pencil at Pittock Mansion, which if you are visiting Portland, I would highly recommend. It's very cool. It's very extravagant. It's a mansion on like beautiful acreage. Recommend seeing that. But I remember that I was also with my mom on this trip, and she is an artist, as I said, so we were able to take some time to sit down and do some plein air sketches, which I really appreciate. I think my camera is dying, so okay, I'm back. So this is also from Portland, a different trip, but this is Mount Tabor, which is one of my favorite parks here. And I remember we were picnicking, and this is in both watercolor and colored pencil. I had enough time to do some art while everyone else was eating, so that was really nice. And I remember I brought like my little watercolor set with some colored pencils. I feel like that's the way to go if you want to get like a lot of color, a lot of texture. For me personally, that's what I like to work in. This isn't my favorite either, but this is from when I traveled up to Mammoth with some friends this year. And yeah, this was just from the cabin, and we had some just time to spare. So I did a little bit of a sketch. This was looking out our balcony towards a little mountain that I thought was really cool. So I drew that, and then you can see on this other side that I don't have anything on there. And then this is something else that I did on my trip up here when we moved to Portland. We drove through Big Sur and a bunch of other places, but we were sitting at breakfast, and I brought my colored pencils and the sketchbook, and I just did some, like a little sketch here to capture it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Bye!